Hi, I'm Luna Joy. I'm a rising ninth grader, and I wanted to add my story to this project because Rachel Carson has had a huge impact on my life. A few years ago, for a National History Day project, I made a play with a couple of friends about the banning of the pesticide DDT. I had the pleasure of playing Rachel Carson and researching the debate around her book Silent Spring, the book that made scientists, politicians, and crucially the public wake up to so many important questions, such as how can we balance the need for pest control with the protection of ecosystems and biodiversity? How do we take precautionary measures that's stifling scientific and industrial advancements? How closely are human health and ecosystem health intertwined? In our project, we touched on the most famous consequences of Carson's book, the banning of DDT and the beginning of the environmental movements. It was not all steady progress. Initially, a federal judge declared the benefits of DDT outweighed the environmental impacts, and DDT was kept legal. It was only several years later, due to the widespread outrage of the people, many of them Silent Spring readers, and the creation of the Environmental Protection Agency, that DDT was finally banned. We as Americans can be proud of the EPA and the environmental movement, and grateful to Rachel Carson for being the spark that helped start it. But there's one element of Carson's legacy that is, in my opinion, too often overlooked: the fact that she started a conversation. She inspired everyone, everywhere on the political spectrum, to engage in meaningful, productive, and forward-looking discussions regarding environmental policy. I admire her immensely for that, because she showed me it is possible. There are many striking and breathtaking lines in Silent Spring, but the one that affected me most when I read it 3 years ago, and that still affects me today, is the following. Who has the right to decide for the countless legions of people who are not consulted that the supreme value is a world without insects, even though it be also a sterile world, ungraced by the curving wing of a bird in flight? The decision is that of the authoritarian, temporarily entrusted with power. He has made it during a moment of inattention by millions to whom beauty and the ordered world of nature still have a meaning that is deep and imperative. Today, more than ever, discussions about environmentalism are crucial to prevent power defaulting to, as Carson chillingly put it, the authoritarian, to avoid that fatal moment of inattention. Sadly, even as climate change has become apparent, I feel that not enough people are having open, productive discussions about environmental threats and solutions. What we must do to protect the planet has become more a matter of partisan politics than of science or ethics. We need the spirited public conversation that Carson started 60 years ago, now more than ever. This is what inspires me to advocate for eco-civics programs in schools, and it is what gives me hope for the future. I am tremendously excited about the new Springsong Museum. I see it as a powerful springboard, get the pun, to continue the dialogue that Rachel Carson started. There's a lot to talk through in tackling the challenges of climate change. What Carson showed me is that words carry immense power. Powerful words affect change. She inspires me to try to find language beautiful and compelling enough to meet the moment. When I see the work that lies ahead, I think of what she said. The human race is challenged more than ever before to demonstrate our mastery, not over nature, but of ourselves.